Okay, students, here is a little mini lecture talking about the major, minor, diminished, and augmented chords. Let me pull up one other thing up here so we can look at these different chords. All right, so we're all set. And let's review what we know about the major triad. Any major triad, whatever this bottom guy is as they're stacked in thirds, is the name of the chord. So this is the most fundamental way we can see a chord. It's not spread out all over the place, right in thirds. So to create a major chord, in this case this is C major because the root, the main tone is at the bottom. From here we have to go a major third. So we have C to E. Then, since we're looking at 1, 3, 5, from the third to the fifth, that's a minor third. You put them together, you have a major chord, C major. Okay, now there's a whole lot of other chord colors. All of these chords, these are the four primary chord colors of which all of the chords, complex and even more expanded, are based in. Now, let's look at the keyboard. This is what I played. C major. That's also 1, 3, 5. All right. And if I wanted to, I could put an octave on top of that. Nice, bright C major. Now, over here, the next color is called minor, where major is a big, bright color. Minor is a darker color. Now, this darker color comes from this first third. We're still looking at 1, 3, 5, but this first interval is a minor third. Then, from the third to the fifth is a major third. So here's C major, C minor. So let me just show you some chords on the virtual piano. C major, C minor. Here's F major, F minor. Oh, how about the B major? Here's B major. We have a major third. From here, major third, minor third. Here's B minor. And I'll throw the octave on the top of that. All right. So far that is major and minor. I'm going to skip augmented real quick and just jump over to diminished. There is a typo on this chart. That should not be double flat. That should just be a 1 flat. So this is C, E flat, G flat. So what you get with the diminished chords is you are making those intervals as small as you can possibly get. Minor third with minor third. Notice over here, major third, minor third. Minor third, major third. Here, they're both minor. They're both as small as possible, giving you diminished. So C to E flat is a minor third. E flat to G flat. Forget not G double flat. G flat is a minor third. So here's C major. C diminished. Okay. And finally, our other color is augmented. And augment is big. You make the intervals as big as they can get. Major. Start with the major third. Continue with the major third. So here's C major, augmented. And just so you can see those 3 chords on the keyboard. C major, C minor, C diminished, C augmented. All right, so let's do a few chords with that. Let's do A major, A minor, A diminished, C minor thirds, and finally A augmented. I'll play my keyboard so you hear them all at once. A major, A minor, a diminished, and A augmented. Okay, and one more. Here's G major, G major, G minor, G diminished, and G augmented. Okay. Now on your chart, another way you can look at these chord construction is not just the thirds, but between 1 and 5. In a major chord and a minor chord, there's a perfect fifth between 1 and 5s. So here's C major. Here's 1 5. Here's C minor. Here's 1 5. Now the diminished, I'm going to skip over to the diminished. The diminished has this tritone. So see, people hear it diminished, they think it's a minor chord sometimes. So here's minor. Here's diminished. Okay, but listen to 1 5. It has the diminished fifth there. Tritone. And finally, the augmented has an augmented fifth. Not perfect fifth. We took the fifth and raised it, made it a little bit bigger. We get that augmented. So another way you can think of these is all the chords are 1, 3, 5. Root, third, and fifth. So every chord, whether it's major, minor, augmented, diminished, has its root, which is the name of the chord. It has its third, which kind of really tells us what is the character of that chord, and every one of these chords has its fifth. All right, so we could take a major chord with 1, 3, and 5. If we lower the third, only the third, we get a minor chord. I'll jump here. If we lower the third and lower the fifth, we get a diminished chord, because see, we're making it small. But if we raise the fifth, we get an augmented chord. So, going to our virtual piano, let's do E flat major. How do I know that was E flat major? I know I have to have a major third. From here, go a major third. And then from here to 5 should be a perfect fifth. A perfect fifth above E flat is B flat. So here's E flat major. To make E flat minor, take the third and lower it. It's E flat minor. To make diminished, take your E flat major chord, but lower the third and lower the fifth. Listen to that tritone. And finally, E flat augmented, you take E flat major and raise the fifth. On each of those, I can throw an 8 if I wanted. Whoops. Let's try that again. E flat major, E flat minor, E flat diminished, E flat augmented. So that's how we make our 4 primary chord colors. So let's do a couple of things I've given you for homework. I have you do some chord identification. We'll start treble. I took out the crazy stuff. Only root positions. One's always going to be on the bottom. And what is that? Maybe you can hear that sound, which tells you. If you can't hear the sound, just look at it. Let's look at what the thirds give us. We have an F sharp to an A. Well, if you have a keyboard, you can look at the keyboard. Here's F sharp. How big is that distance? If you check it out, first of all, that's either major third or minor third. Let's see, we went a whole step and a half step. That's a minor third. So we went a minor third. So it's either going to be a minor chord, because we start with the minor third, or a diminished chord, because we start with the minor third. So let's go back to this guy. Let's see what else we got. We have F sharp, A, C. Let's look at the keyboard. Whoops. F sharp. Then we have an A. We have a C. From A to C is a minor third. So we have minor third with another minor third. It's a diminished chord. Plus there's the tritone. Tritone. So that means we can look at this and say what we looked at is a diminished chord. Okay, C sharp, E, G sharp. The third between C sharp and E, if we look at a keyboard, what is C sharp to E? That's a minor third. It's a whole step and a half step. All right, so we got a minor third from here to here. What is the fifth? 1 to 5. C sharp, G sharp. That's a perfect fifth. If we have a minor third and a perfect fifth, which one of the chords has that? Right here. Minor third and perfect fifth. So that means it is a minor chord. Specifically, it's C sharp minor. Okay, we have D, F sharp, A sharp. D, F sharp, A sharp. Let's look at a keyboard. D, F sharp, A sharp. D to F sharp is a major third. F sharp to A sharp is a major third. You have major third with major third, which means major third with major third gives you an augmented chord. So specifically, this is D augmented. Let's do one more. We have G to B flat, and then D flat. G, B flat, D flat. We got our keyboard. G to B flat. That's a minor third. Now, what's B flat to D flat? That's a whole step and a half. So that we have minor third and minor third. Let's look at our chart. What's minor third and minor third? Right here, minor third and minor third. It's a diminished chord. So specifically, this is G diminished. 1, 3, 5. Diminished. Okay, so I've given you some chord identification. I also gave you some chord building. So let's do a couple of chord building. We did treble clef, so let's do bass clef. Chord building. Take out the craziness. All right. Let's build these different chords. C major. All right, easy one. C, E. All right. Ooh, C sharp augmented. Well, number one in C sharp augmented is C sharp. So here we go. There's C sharp. Now, what do? Well, an augmented chord says we need major third and major third. All right, let's go to our piano. Here's C sharp. What's a major third of a C sharp? We got major thirds 2 whole steps. There's the first whole step. Here's the second whole step. So there's our third. Now it looks like I'm playing C sharp F. But if we're talking third, the third is C, D, E. So it's not C sharp F, it's C sharp, E sharp. So E sharp is the third. See, we're going to go thirds, thirds, thirds. There's the third. Now finally, what is the fifth going to be? Well, we have to go a major third from here because an augmented is major third and major third. So go to this E sharp. Let's go to our keyboard. Where's E sharp? There's E sharp. Now go a major third. Whole step, whole step. So here's the whole chord. So C sharp, E sharp. Now it looks like that's an A. The only problem is if I put an A there, look, I'll put an A. See, I'm putting the A up there. You can see what's going to happen. I'm wrong. How can I be wrong? It's an A. Oh, it's got to be thirds. So it's not A, it's G double sharp. If I put it there, now it's in thirds. One more. A B augmented. We need a B. Now we need a major third. Major third above B. Here's B. And, oh, we're in bass clef. I'll go here. Major third to D sharp. Okay, D sharp's a major third. D sharp. Now, what's the fifth? We got to go a major third. All right, major third above D sharp. Here's one. Here's the third. D sharp. Got to go major third. 2 whole steps. 1, 2. There we go. Here's the whole chord. So that looks like a G. B, D sharp, G. But look what happens if we put G up there. Same problem we had before. That's not a third. So instead of G, you call it F double sharp. All right, and then the last homework I gave you for this stuff is your ear. Can your ear hear the different chords? All right. Ba, ba, ba. What is that? Ba, 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 ba. Listen, hear that 1 and 5? Ba, 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 ba. Does that sound kind of? Ba, ba, ba. Listen to the 1-5. You're hearing that tritone, which means it has to be diminished. Next. Ooh, that sounds crazy. Okay. Ba, ba. That's a major third right there. So the first 1 to 3, ba, ba, Pa pa is major. It's a weird chord, so it's not diminished because we already heard a major there. Pa 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 pa. What's that 1/5? That's that tritone in there. Oh, hear that? Major. You hear? All right. So that's the gist of the ear training. What I would suggest is you just do some practice runs. See, just go through a bunch of them until you're literally training your ear to hear the 4 basic chords. So that's the lecture. We'll continue this in class.